This video, brought to you by Funding101.org, includes the secret toolkit for attracting corporate sponsorships. This is a two-part video. Watch for part 2 in the days to come. If you want to attract corporate sponsors, step 1 is to prepare your nonprofit to work effectively with corporations. As a part of that process, you want to clearly define in writing what your nonprofit can do for your corporate sponsors in exchange for their financial support. We suggest providing at least 3 levels of corporate sponsorships for all of your campaigns. Put simply, a corporate sponsorship is the financial payment by a business to a nonprofit with the intention to further the nonprofit's mission. In exchange, the business receives acknowledgement of their support in one form or another. Be crystal clear about what your goals and objectives are before you approach a corporation for sponsorship. Put your financial goals in writing and add a timeline to them before you approach sponsors. For example, if your goal is to build a new building within the next 5 years and the building will cost $100,000, you can divide the $100,000 over the 5-year window, and now you know how much money you're looking for from sponsors for this year. Remember that you're not very different from a corporation, in that if somebody came to you asking not to borrow, but asked you to give them $100,000, ask yourself, what would you want them to provide to you before you wrote that check? Whatever you would expect from them is exactly the kinds of things a corporation is going to expect from your organization. So have it ready. Put in writing what success will look like when you have achieved whatever the goals are. If you can't put it in writing, there's very little chance you'll achieve that goal because, frankly, you won't know when you've arrived. Not only do we want you to put your goals and objectives in writing, and all of the things that you can do for your corporate sponsors in writing, but you should also have a contract between your organization and every corporate sponsor that details exactly what your organization is going to do for them in exchange for what they're going to do for your organization. So what can you offer to your corporate sponsors? You'll be shocked to find out how much value you can actually add to the corporate sponsors, and that most of it won't cost you anything to do. As long as you follow the IRS guidelines, most of the benefits that you can offer to corporate sponsors will still be tax deductible for them. In part 2 of this video, we've detailed for you the IRS's definition of what is taxable versus non-taxable. Here is just a short list of what you could offer to your sponsors in exchange for their financial support. Space on your website, thanking them in your outgoing press releases. You could include them in your social media campaigns. You can include a thank you along with their logo in your email newsletters. You can hang their banner at your events. These are just a handful of the things you can do to thank your corporate sponsors that won't cost you a dime to do, but will be very valuable to them. Put it all in writing and be sure to provide at least 3 levels of participation so that no matter how small the business may be or how tight their budget may be, there's a way they can be a part of your organization's success. Funding 101 is dedicated to helping nonprofits thrive no matter what the economy is doing. Our program, Making Profits for Your Nonprofit, includes more than 100 tips and a baker's dozen of success principles that you can start using today to attract more donors, more volunteers, more business sponsors, more grant money, more media coverage, and a whole lot more. Best of all, 90% of all the tips and techniques we're sharing in the program won't cost you a dime to use. The bad news, though, is every one of those tips and techniques is already costing you a boatload of lost revenue until your organization starts using them. You deserve to be successful and to expand the good works that your organization does every day. Now, it's time to invest in your organization and learn some new techniques that will help you stop struggling and start thriving. Click on the Add to Cart button to get your program today. To learn more about the toolkit for attracting corporate sponsorships, follow the link provided on your screen and be sure to watch for part 2 of this video series. Your success always matters to us at Funding101.org, and the difference between where you are now and where you deserve to be is just a question of learning some new techniques and implementing those techniques. Making profits for your nonprofit includes more than 100 tips and 12 success principles. You deserve to be more successful. You deserve to stop struggling. Let us help your organization get there.